This might look a little strange here, but we are going to actually tackle 2 verses today. This way we will end up completing the second vagga here of the Dhammapada in this episode. And you'll notice that these lines are exactly the same. That's going to help us. Appamādarato bhikkhu pamāde bhayadassi Saṃyojanaṃ anuṃ thūlaṃ ḍahaṃ aggīva gacchati. And we will go ahead and write the translation here. We'll say a monk. This could be any person, really, attempting to put into practice the Buddha's teachings. A monk, and then we have this nice little word, rato, delighting in Appamāda, delighting in vigilance, or, we'll have to pick up the or here, va, or dassi, or seeing, and this here, seeing fear in carelessness, and now we can go pick up the main verb. I think this is a verb that we have to expand upon a little. We probably all know gacchati by now, at least if you've been going through these videos, and goes. So a monk who's qualified like this goes. Now that's pretty literal. We might even say goes throughout life, and I'm going to say that. Goes through life. Now that's just my little clarification, But, dear listener, you can tell me what you think of this. Goes through life. And then we have a little simile here. Va. Just like fire, aggi, and I don't think it came up in the Dhammapada, but it came up in maybe the Itivuttaka, where we talked about how this is in Sanskrit, agni. That might help you remember. Just like fire. And then here, this ḍahati, or the verb is ḍahati, and this is one of the forms of the masculine nominative participle, present active participle. So just like a fire burning or burns. And I'll tell you, I kind of got stuck on this. And this is one thing where we have this comma here. Really, this comma is not grammatically important. And Warder makes that point in his grammar, that grammatical considerations always override punctuation because the punctuation was introduced much later. These commas, from what I can tell, they're just separating the gattas. So, but I was treating this as like it was some self-contained unit, and it's not. This is all just the object of dahaṃ. So, a monk goes through life, this type of monk goes through life just like, and what we might say here is just like a fire burning. I think that might work better. Just like a fire burning. And then Saṃyojanaṃ is like a bond or a fetter. I think I wrote that down there. Not a bong. That's a different kind of fetter. Just like a fire burning, I might even say burning up. A fetter. And then the fetter here is qualified. Anuṃ, a small fetter, a large fetter. These can have other small, minute, atomic. This is coarse, massive. So we might just say a fire burning up a small or large, or thinking the Pali here is very compact. So how we want to express this in English, just like a fire burning up small and large fetters, and I'm sure that's been translated much more eloquently than that. Burning up small and large fetters. And there I'm realize we're making this plural. The reason for that is just because there are two different adjectives here. So, but as I said, I think there's probably a better way to do that. But this is, I think, the meaning. One more time here, we have a monk. This is our masculine nominative singular. A monk delighting in, so when this is at the end of a compound, delighting in Appamādarato or vigilance, or a monk seeing. Now, dassati is from the present tense is hypothetical, would be dassati, but this gives us the ditti, the word ditti as in samaditi, so having to do with sight, and that point like a viewpoint, a perspective. Although in basically the same word you might hear in a yoga class in Sanskrit, drishti. Keep your drishti, your gaze. So it can be a literal gaze. Or a monk seeing fear, bhaya, in, and so this is our locative here, in carelessness, goes. And you might even just think means goes forward in the practice or goes through life. I'm not, I didn't look into the commentary there. You can let me know, dear listener. Goes through life just like fire burns up, or a fire burning up. Just like a fire burns up a small fetter, a large fetter, something like that. Okay, let's go down here to verse 32 then. And it starts the exact same way. And we'll just go ahead and copy and paste this, since that's the case. A monk, it's the same, delighting in vigilance, or a monk seeing fear in carelessness. Abhabbo. Excuse me. So this means really unable. It could mean impossible, but it seems like it's a little easier to work it into English if we say is unable. A monk, one of these types of monks, people practicing the Buddha's teaching, is unable. And here we have, I should say this is masculine nominative singular, just like it doesn't look the same, but going with bhikkhu. Parihānāya. Now this is our dative singular, neuter dative singular, and it means to decrease, decay, waste away. I think I saw someone's translation say like fail. So a monk is unable to fade away, or to decrease, or to fail, I think, in the practice, or to decrease, to decay, to not proceed. So I'll just stick with decrease, is unable to decrease. And that doesn't sound great, I realize. Is unable to, let's say something like is unable to, let's say, waste away. That's some Def Leppard song. So this last little part here, I think at first I wanted to take this as an Eva, but it really isn't. I think if it were Eva, it would displace it would be Eva, or we would see nibbānasseva maybe. But here I think that I don't think it's Sunday there. I think that this means really like thus, this monk, he is thus santike, in the presence, nibbānasseva, in the presence of nirvana. Or he is so, I kind of like the way that sounds. He is so in the presence of nirvana. So I hope that I didn't muddle those too badly. Please, as always, I am very interested to hear your thoughts on these, dear listener. And with that, peace, and we will start Chapter 3, which is the Vagga, dealing with chittang, the mind.